This is my Wandavision season one, I guess only season, episode 8 review, kind of video essay culmination. And, I had done on this channel a couple of reviews episode by episode, but I stopped, because I don't think I was saying anything that wasn't to be said. And there are a lot better people at this than I am, just putting out a lot of really fun videos about predictions and possible spoilers and connections to the comics and what all this means in the context of a larger narrative, which I don't, again, I didn't do the reading the night before. I wasn't a comic book kid, so a lot of this is new to me, and all I can do is respond to what I see. I did enjoy superheroes as a kid. I liked the movies, Batman the animated series. Because for those films or programs, you didn't have to do a lot, of understanding of the character when it got started. You knew who Batman was. You knew what his 9 to 5 was. You knew what he did at night. You knew why he did it. Now drop him in the world and give him an adventure. And those were, easy to digest and fun. I knew who Superman was. I knew what his story was. I didn't have to do any personal investment. I got the idea. So you watch a movie, you know where you're going with it. But like Bill, one of my favorite scenes in the Kill Bill movies, and he said, the mythology of it, really really appreciated it, sort of the American mythology of the superheroes. But I got really into the Marvel movies because I think, you know, er, early you could tell that these were all about something. Not just the costumes and the action, and to a degree the DC movies from the 21st century had a narrative, had a meta narrative, had a theme beyond the costume that was pretty obvious. I mean, yes, I mean Superman was always an immigrant story, things like that. But if you watch these Marvel movies, the Guardians movies, yeah, they're fun. They're space battles. They're about surviving abusive relationships. The Iron Man character arc is, you take somebody with a narcissistic personality disorder, but talents to back it up. Give him PTSD, and he goes from, being, completely narcissistic and, you know, based on self-preservation, and changes to complete self-sacrifice by the end of his character arc. Captain America is when you take a character who has almost no character arc, just make him uniquely good to the core, and you almost see how out of place he is, and kind of so forth and so on. Ragnarok is has themes of colonialism and what makes a people and all that. So I mean, there's more to it. But you saw these previews for WandaVision, and you said, what the hell is this going to be about? You know, and then we kind of realized that Wanda, or the Scarlet Witch, as we all called her before she even got that name. If you had a nominal understanding of the comics and the reading the night before. What were they gonna do with this character? Were they just gonna do something weird, something experimental? And the theme, obviously, at this point is about grief and recovering from grief, but also sort of this character has had a lot, and a lot happened to her, obviously, and there's this sort of theme of relationships and exploitation in relationships. And if you just kind of look at her, she started, her character started with trauma, with losing her family. She described that early in once we started to get to know her in Age of Ultron. And then she found her way to the Hydra group, and they basically started to exploit her for this power that she ultimately developed. And even the Avengers, they took her in, but they kind of locked her away. They didn't know what to do with her, but took her out and used her for what she could do when it was necessary. And it seems the only relationships that she had outside of her parents, which was nice to be able to see in episode 8, that weren't based on getting something from her, was that with the relationship with her brother and the relationship with Vision. Now she had to sense, she felt her brother die. She didn't see it, but obviously they died in the same battle. And, Vision, she had to make the decision to execute him to save the world. She had to be the one, she was the only one strong enough in the context of the film and emotionally to be the one to trade a life. And she did that, but, that's where the worst part is, that she had to go through the trauma of doing that, and then it meant nothing because, Thanos used the time stone and reversed it, and she had to watch it happen, even more unnaturally. And then she got blipped away. And, a lot of time has passed in the context of these stories, as well as in this real world of us watching her, but not for her. And I think that's something I touched on at a later video or earlier video. We came to learn that she actually just she woke up from the blip. She saw that Vision's body was not there, but she remembered what had happened. She went and she fought the battle, and it was after Stark's funeral, there was a brief discussion with Clint about them sensing what had happened. But really, again, all this story takes place just a few weeks after the blip, after everybody has returned. So she's still processing the grief of losing the second real person who just sort of cared about her for being her. And so, absolutely heartbreaking. First 15 minutes of Up, heartbreaking to watch her. We really see that she just wanted to go bury the person she loved. And she couldn't do that. Couldn't sense that he was there anymore. And then she, went to their plot. And, it was nice to see that sort of, return of that little heart on a piece of paper. And to me, that's it. The world that was created out of grief. The same sort of explosion that she had when she sensed her brother die. She had a similar appearing explosion, but in this sense, it created something instead of destroyed the evil. And I'll say something from Episode 8 of Star Wars that everybody hates for no good reason. You don't win by destroying what you hate. You win by saving what you love. But this brings a larger point, and to me, it brings the audience in this sort of review and spoiler culture, and what's happening. And again, I'll always say Disney's smarter than I am. All these shows that these streaming shows, they all come out at once. All these episodes, Cobra Kai dropped it all at once, okay? And you can binge it and be done with it in a weekend if you want. They're making us wait. They're making us think about it episode to episode, the way we used to watch television, Wait till next week, to see what happens. And, to me, that's absolutely brilliant because it gives us time to digest the episodes and kind of figure out what we think we should see and what we want to see. But this isn't about what everybody wants of us. This was supposed to be about the devil causing all this. Or, okay, Wanda is a prisoner. Okay, no, she's the bad guy. She's controlling everything. Oh, yeah, and Agnes all along. She's the bad guy. She's controlling everything. But what about the director outside? He's the bad guy. He might even be the devil. He's setting all this up. And we're wanting all this stuff, all these things to be happening around her, when in fact it's just somebody's pure grief, and it created this world, and it gave her a place to escape to, and she couldn't control it. The director, he wants to control it. He wants to use it to recreate a weapon. Agnes wants to understand and recover the magic and everything, and nobody's looking at the character of what she wants, which is why she just wants to process her grief, process her loss, have something real, have something tangible. Like all of us, these other characters are looking at her, trying to extrapolate, what's going on, how are they involved, And what do they know about it? Well, what do we know about what's going on? And the fact is, when the characters don't even know what's happening to them, this is just another way for us to try to control what we're seeing. And so, to me, it really has pulled us all in um, to be sort of acting like the characters around Wanda, when we just really need to let this person process her grief. Um, the grief of losing what was, her last, real relationship. And Vision tells us what grief is, the perseverance of love. I've never heard it said any better. Um, you know, I've kind of heard, variations on that theme. If you have a broken heart, you keep thinking about the person you lost in a relationship. That's how you hang on to them. But never really think of it as the perseverance of love. Think of it as sort of hanging on to something that isn't there. But the love is there. It's tangible, and she was able to use that to create, another Vision. Um, Remains to be seen what happens to the children, how real they are within the bubble. There, if they can leave the bubble. She told them not to go beyond the border street, so it's going to be tough to say what's going to happen there. So I mean, we're being set up for, you know, a big last episode. And again, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, she's definitely going to be the bad guy in Doctor Strange 2 and all this because because she's going to go crazy." Um, I mean, I think that's still possible. Um, but I think we've thought about all this stuff that it's been the devil all along, or it's been Agatha controlling everything, or Loki. Maybe it's even Loki doing all this, But what again? I think the question has been pretty consistently, what if it isn't? Um, and I think the fact that what's doing this to this point, and again, by Friday night I could be completely off, but to this point, what's doing this is just something so natural and something that we all feel and can all relate to. Just kind of looking on social media, this really seems to be scratching a lot of people where they itch right now. Um, it's been a pretty messed up 12 months, right? And we've lost a lot of things. We've lost a lot of people, of course, but we've also lost a lot of community. And people aren't going to church as much. To me, it's like church in the movies, and I don't even go to the movies that often. But church, I try to go every week, try to be a good guy. Um, you know, in doing these things, that no matter how different we may be or look or whatever, if we go to the same church, we go to the same movie, there's something we have in common. And we've been staying home for a year and thinking about all the ways we're different, and forgetting about all the things we have in common. And I think there's something about this show, you know, growing up on television, the framing of reference of all this, and, just the theme being grief and loss, that is reminding a lot of people how very similar we all are. Um, I think they've done a great job with this, and I think that this is probably, you know, within popular culture stuff, one of the best character development, character studies. This to me feels, we signed up for a superhero show. We signed up for a superhero show about, about TV series, but and we're getting that, and we're getting action and fantasy and fun stuff. But but I think we almost got, in a sense, the Gregory Peck's Gunfighter. Just somebody, you look at that movie, yeah, it's a western, but he's also just sort of holed up in a bar for 80% of the movie, and we're just learning more and more about the character. It's a deeper piece than just to shoot 'em up, and this is more than costumes, more than anything else. So, do I think there'll be something big on the next one? Oh yeah, they already told us a big cameo. Who do I think it's going to be? I have no idea. I like Doctor Strange. I dressed as him for Halloween one year. Is that big enough? I don't know. What am I worried about? Yeah, I'm worried that Wanda's going to have to kill Vision, watch him die a third time. I'm worried that the White Vision is not going to have the imprint of Wanda on him, so she'll be a stranger to him. I was worried about her losing the children. I don't think Disney would do that. Disney kills parents to make kids feel vulnerable. They don't kill off kids to make parents feel vulnerable. Doesn't seem to be their thing. But, if you're not watching the show, sorry I spoiled it for you, but, again, there's you got less than 4 hours of TV, if you take out the end credits, to catch up. It's good stuff. Enjoy it. Something I could ramble on, as you can tell, for quite a while. But anyway, everybody be good to each other. Be safe out there. And one episode of TV to go. Have fun.